Now, this week, we're going to talk all about WordPress plugins. A lot of the issues that I see with my current clients and people I've talked to is they get very confused as to what plugin they should use on their website. And the thing is that you really, honestly, less is more with WordPress plugins. You don't need a ton. Personally, I try to keep mine to 15 maximum, but I do have about 6 plugins that I use on almost every single website. I'm going to walk you through those right now. So let's get started. Now, the first plugin that I use every single time is Gravity Forms. This is honestly the absolute best form plugin that I have ever used in WordPress. I've been using Gravity Forms now for 6 years, and it has only gotten better. Gravity Forms is one of the easiest form creation interfaces that I've used, and they're getting ready to do a big update, so I'm excited and nervous to see what that's going to look like. But it makes creating contact forms so simple, and then you can actually connect those contact forms to different softwares like MailChimp, so you can feed a lead capture straight into your CRM system. The other cool thing about Gravity Forms for me is that it has one of the highest deliverability rates. So sometimes what happens when you get emails, contact formed, emailed to your inbox, they can get marked as spam, and it can have some issues where you don't necessarily get those. Now, Gravity Forms not only has some of the best deliverability rates that I've seen, where it means it ends up in your inbox instead of your spam folder, but it also saves a copy of every single contact form submission in your website's database. So you can never lose a contact form that way. It is amazing. If you are using anything else, while Gravity Forms is a premium plugin, and for one website, it's about $60, I highly recommend switching over. And if you like that kind of thing, there are so many different add-ons for Gravity Forms that just make it amazing. I cannot say enough good about this plugin. So our second plugin has to do a lot with making sure your website is compliant. You guys have probably heard about a bunch of different new privacy laws. GDPR in the EU has been in effect for a few years now, but the California version, the CCPA, has some fun features that you need to make sure that you have on your website. So if you have any customers at all in California, you need to use. I make this all really simple with the Compliance plugin. There are a few other out there. This, however, is also CCPA compliant, and basically it means that you can set up your tracking cookies, like your Google Analytics or Facebook Pixel, to abide by the CCPA compliance. Now, you might say, well, I'm a local business in Kansas. I don't necessarily need to worry about this yet. I highly recommend that you just follow the CCPA guidelines now, because you never know when you might have somebody from California want to visit your website, use your website, and even use your services. But B, we're heading this way. There's no way that we're not going to get here eventually in the state of Kansas. Nevada has their own privacy law that's going through the motions right now. It's going to look very similar right now. It looks very similar to the CCPA. And with the privacy changes on the iPhone 14 OS, we're just there. We're there. So this really makes, especially an internet-based business, compliant no matter where your clients are located, and it just makes everything so much easier. It's very much a better safe than sorry scenario. Now, this next plugin that I use every single website because, one, I never know when I'm going to make a mistake and a typo, and two, it means I do a lot less work. It's Enable Media Replace. So this plugin allows me to update an image or a PDF file without having to change links anywhere on the website. What that means is if I made a typo in a PDF download, instead of changing that download link in my whole lead capture sequence or whatever, I can just replace that file. WordPress doesn't let you do this natively. If I want to change out an image and just have a new version, but I want the same file name in that image, I want even the same alt text, and I don't want to do that work, I just upload a new image through Enable Media Replace. It's a very simple plugin. I use it a lot when I can't decide what images I want to do, or if I want to change sizes ever so slightly or whatever. But it makes everything so much easier, and it covers the fact that we're all kind of human and we tend to make mistakes. Now, this next plugin is one that if you don't have on your website right now, go add it. It's Yoast SEO. So Yoast SEO it's the only WordPress SEO plugin I trust. I know there are others, but none of them do the job that Yoast does. And in the free Yoast plugin, you can take control of your meta titles and descriptions super easily. Even upload your Facebook OG images for every single page and post, which you need to double check what you're doing. And you can also change whether or not that page should be indexed by Google. Now, that's just what you can do on an individual page and post. But when it comes to whether or not you want to submit a sitemap to Google Search Console, which you do, Yoast makes it super simple and compiles that sitemap for you. Now you have control where you can tell Yoast to ignore certain custom post types in the sitemap. You can tell Yoast to ignore certain pages in the sitemap. And you can even tell it to ignore your blog posts if you don't have a blog up and going yet. But it's really easy to take control of what Google sees on your website with the Yoast SEO plugin. It also makes it really easy to optimize your content. It'll help you do that and let you know whether or not you have good SEO copy on your website. Now, it doesn't work with every single page builder out there. Yoast does have some issues with some page builders out there, but it's a really easy way for you to optimize your content for SEO and make it super simple to submit your sitemap to Google. And that's how Google knows where you are. And I will tell you, with Yoast managing my SEO, Google knows when I post a new blog post every week. I don't have to worry about it. It automatically sends that to my Google Search Console. So just something to think about. Okay, next. Now, I use WordPress.org. Now, that's called a self-hosted WordPress website. Basically, what that means is I download a bunch of files from WordPress.org, and I put them on any host, any service that I want. There are, however, WordPress.com websites, and I know a few people with those, and there are some really cool tools that WordPress.com embeds on all their sites that you can actually get on your WordPress.org website. So that plugin is called Jetpack. And with Jetpack, I can add a lot of that functionality that WordPress.com has only, and a lot of it for free. Personally, I really only use Jetpack to make my comments easy for people to sign in with even Facebook, so they don't have to sign in to my website or create an account. They can just write a comment using their Facebook account. It also makes social sharing super simple. Now, Jetpack has a lot of other plugin abilities, like you can follow your site stats, which I do honestly without having to log into Google Analytics. It's just really quick and dirty site stats. It also lets you see and provides CDNs and even WordPress security features that are all kind of built into this one plugin. Now, there are things that cost money for you to upgrade to, but for the most part, the free stuff that you get with Jetpack Free is totally worth it. Now, last but not least, if you do any kind of online e-commerce solution with your website, I'm seeing a lot of this in different Facebook groups that I'm in right now of how can you make an e-commerce site with WordPress? There's really only one answer to that. It's WooCommerce. WooCommerce makes e-commerce so simple on WordPress, it's not even funny. Almost every single WordPress theme that you can possibly download anymore should be WooCommerce compatible. And if it's not, it's actually really easy to make it WooCommerce compatible. WooCommerce also comes with a ton of add-ons that you can do, and a lot of the basic stuff is free. WooCommerce itself is a free plugin, and then if you take payments through, say, Stripe or PayPal or even Authorize.net, those are all free plugins. There's so much that you can do to extend your e-commerce solution with WooCommerce for no money. It is ridiculous. And just as a side note, I compared a Shopify platform with all the bells and whistles that a customer needed last year to what it would cost on WooCommerce. Even with some additional bells and whistles that we needed, we were going to pay roughly $27 a month for WooCommerce and all of the add-ons that we needed versus $85 a month. Now, $60 a month isn't a ton, but when you're talking about over time and over the year, it's a huge cost savings. Plus, WooCommerce is simply one of the biggest e-commerce solutions on the market of any kind, because WordPress powers 39% of the internet now. So WooCommerce also has access to some of the cheapest shipping rates and things like that through USPS. So all just things to keep in mind. Now, all of these plugins are super simple for you to install and use on your own, but at the end of the day, they're going to make your site a whole lot easier for you to use and manage. And honestly, you want your website to be, especially if you are a solo or you're the only person in your marketing department and you're doing a lot of this maintenance yourself, you want your website to take care of a lot of automations for you. And all of these plugins will do that and make your life a whole lot easier. If you guys have any questions at all, drop those questions in the comments and I'll see you next week. Thanks, everybody.